Gong 97.1.
Brian, I read an interview with you. You said you like Brooklyn. You're living there.
Yeah.
Because there's no musician in your neighborhood and nobody knows the band. Is that right?
Yeah, it's true. But people think that Brooklyn is all Williamsburg, and it's not. And that's where Williamsburg is where like the bands are from. Like all the bands that are from Brooklyn are from there, which is very, very far away from where I live. So where I live is very quiet, and there's no bands, no clubs, no nothing. There's no, I mean, there's like one club, but like no one that I know plays there. So it's like, you know, I can go around and walk around, and I just never see anything that has to do with music, which is kind of cool because, you know, it's your job and you get tired of it sometimes, and you don't want to be around bands or anything like that all the time. So I think, you know, it's good that way, but I mean, it's kind of running its course where I think in April I'm going to move back to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something to try. Everyone asks me a lot of questions about moving. They're like, oh, you left New Jersey? Oh my gosh, like you left New Jersey? I'm telling Bruce Springsteen. And I'm like, well, I'm allowed to leave New Jersey if I want.
Bruce Springsteen left New Jersey too.
Yeah, he moved to California, which is way worse.
You said you don't like to be famous like, you don't want to be famous like Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day or other musicians. What's the other option?
Young.
What?
Right? Something like Neil Young.
Like Neil Young? Yeah, that kind of thing. Like Billy Joe is very famous, very, very, very famous. And he has a lot of responsibility, I think, to be, you know, what people want and expect now, because now there's Billy Joe the person and there's Billy Joe the character, and or the musician, the persona, and that is not his choice. That's just the choice of, you know, there's public Billy Joe and then there's the Billy Joe that probably, I'm assuming, his family knows, which are probably, if I know anything about people, it's probably two different people, you know, and that's got to be impossibly difficult to maintain. Not like, what I'm saying is not two different people like, you know, like a character that he invented, but there's something that you have to become to go out on the stage. And I've seen them play. Like, that's definitely a big personality, which doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would raise, you know, kids and have a wife and all that. And I just don't want that kind of pressure. I don't want that kind of like, you know, availability either. I don't want everybody to know everything about me or me to know everything about them. Or I just don't want to be in the public eye that much as he is. That's a lot.
Okay. So what's the difference between you guys now and you guys before the 59 Sound and American Slang? Is there a difference?
I have way more guitars than I used to. When we went into the studio for 59 Sound, actually, I only had one guitar, and Alex cracked the headstock.
So you rewarded yourself.
I had no guitars. I had luckily Fender, you know, let me borrow one for recording. But if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have had a guitar to record a record with. But yeah, and now I probably have too many.
Okay. Is it now easier to write songs because you can put your whole energy into the band than before because you were working as a car mechanic? Is that right?
A carpenter.
Carpenter. Okay. Is it easier now for you to write songs?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's more time to write songs, but I think that sometimes when you have a lot of things to do and you have to fit it in a little time, it makes you aware that you only have this much time. It almost makes you put out better stuff. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, it's easier, but I think that both things have their good sides about it, like not having enough time and having enough time, you know?
Okay. I think so. It was really annoying for you to be compared with Bruce Springsteen all of the time. But what do you think? Was it good for your career as musicians to be compared with Bruce Springsteen?
So I think we still are. I think it's still like a thing that's kind of always gonna come out, and people are gonna just see it or they're not gonna see it. I mean, like literally every single interview they ask us that question, and it doesn't, you know. For me, it's of course it helped. You know, like there's a lot of people that come see us that wouldn't have found out about us, and I think that if we weren't from New Jersey, it wouldn't be as big of a comparison. But what basically we're just trying to do is, you know, like we would just go on with it, and you know, it's not like it's for me. It's not like it's not true. Like that's who I like. That's my favorite. You know, that and him and Pearl Jam are my favorite bands. But it's just not for everybody. That's the only thing that I really like. Kind of, I'm just like seriously, like because there's so many other things there that it's a little redundant at times. Where it's not his fault and it's not his fans' fault or him. It's mainly just people being like if you play. I mean, you show me the song that I know his records better than anyone does, and that's a full-on challenge to anyone in the media. You try a quiz with me and Bruce Springsteen, I will nail you on bootlegs, crazy stuff, but you find me the song that sounds like a Gaslight Anthem song.
Okay.
There's not one.
So sorry for this question. I know so many people.
Well, you can always ask a different one. You don't always have to ask that one.
How was it for you guys to be on stage with Bruce Springsteen? I think this question was asked so many times.
How many times? I can't even remember now because it's been asked so many times. I'm not sure.
And I honestly don't remember. I mean, personally don't remember. I had there was a lot of, my head was in a totally different space. The only things I remember from playing with Bruce Springsteen is that my hair tie broke, so I looked like a Hessian. And that I was out of tune for the first half. So.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you think it was?
I think it was awesome.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think that should be awesome because I'm a really big fan of Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, yeah.
And I saw him 2 times now here in Germany, here in Frankfurt.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was awesome.
What do you think that felt like? Like if it was you, what would you think it would feel like?
So I'm a musician too.
Yeah, no, but what would it feel like? Like if you were if he came up and played with you, what would you think?
I would be on stage like this.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, Bruce Springsteen is next to me, and I think would be really, really awesome.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. Seriously, that's exactly it. You know, like a lot of people ask a lot, and I think that to a point, like I can tell you how it was, but it was exactly how you think it would be. Like it was exactly how you would feel, or how anyone, because me and him are so different, like as far as levels of fame. You and I are similar. He's so different than the both of us because he's so big. Like it's
one of the biggest.
Right, he's probably the biggest, you know what I mean? And no one's kind of cooler than that, and no one's like really, a better, I don't want to say like musician, but better like communicator with what he says and like the things that he does. Like he's cool too. Like you can like him and you can be into punk rock and still say like, you know what, Bruce Springsteen's pretty cool. Like it was like Joe Strummer. Like you could be into any different music and he's still cool. So I mean, usually when people ask me that, I ask them how they think it would, and then they tell me, and then I said that, and that's how it was.
Okay.
But it's true.
Yeah, I know. So let's get over to your latest album. It's called American Slang. How would you describe it in your own words? Is it possible to describe this album for you?
Impossible. Wow. To describe, I don't know.
Or maybe what's the difference to the older albums, 59 Sound or Sinking Swim?
Honestly, it's to me at least, it's like a continuation of what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds a little older. You know what I mean? Because we are a little older, and it sounds a little more mature because we are a little more. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I feel like as a band, you have your sound is the sound, and it progresses as you progress. You know what I mean? And that's, I don't know, that's just where I think it is. Like I guess step 3, however many steps it's going to take.
So last question: what will you do after the tour? Will you go on holiday or back to Jersey? You said.
I'll probably go home. Just go home. Like not go on holiday at all. Just go home and be at home for a while. I haven't been home in a long time.
Okay, and what are your aims for the future? Are there any aims for you? Maybe in private?
I'm getting a dog.
A dog? What kind of dog?
Like a pit terrier mix.
Okay.
And a rescue locally. I'm stoked about it.
So, thank you guys. Thanks a lot for the interview.
Thank you.
We appreciate that really much, and we say bye.
Bye-bye.
Gong 97.1